The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of ESPN Tucson 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, or the Arizona Lotus Corporation.
Spears and Ali, weekday morning 7 to 9 on 1490 AM, 94.9 HD4 ESPN Tucson.
Out of time, they pulled off the shot. We're going to overtime. And Mr. Backer, you're quite prophetic.
Boom. We are back. Spears and Ali overtime on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. We are presented by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, and Tucson Federal Credit Union. Great overtime episode last week, fellas. Lots to talk about this week. Your boy got a speeding ticket.
In El Cajon, huh?
Yep, right outside San Diego. We'll talk about it.
Live by the Cajon, die by the Cajon. I keep telling you.
Yep.
Life lessons here on Spears and Ali. So we're going to talk about what's been happening over the last week or so. Also talk a little bit of sports as well, as we always do. How are you guys doing over the last week? All's well with you guys?
I would say so.
Yeah?
I would say so. Roadrunners staying in town, so I'm happy.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Rio Nuevo voted on Tuesday to keep the Roadrunners here in Tucson for at least the next 3 years. And board member of Rio Nuevo, Edmund Marquez, who's a proud supporter of Spears and Ali. We are always thankful for his support. He said, "This ain't the Tempe Roadrunners. This is the Tucson Roadrunners." And of course, all of this is happening after the Arizona Coyotes were sold to the group who owns the Delta Center.
Yeah.
So the Arizona Coyotes will now be playing their home games in Salt Lake City, where the Utah Jazz play. They're going to have rebranding. They're looking for team names, like people in Utah are suggesting names. We can go through the whole list of very interesting names in the state of Utah, but there's no more hockey in the desert, at least at the NHL level. And a lot of folks were wondering what's going to happen with the Tucson Roadrunners, because, you know, over the last decade, they've developed a very strong fan base here in Tucson. And Roadrunners have always been a franchise that gets out into the community. They have outreach programs. They've worked with the Boys and Girls Club of Tucson. They built outdoor rinks. Like, there's a lot of work that the Tucson Roadrunners have done in our community. And for them to just pack up and leave, it would have been the ultimate kick in the nuts, like we've seen with other professional sports franchises here in Tucson. So I'm very thankful that the Roadrunners, at least for the next few years, are sticking around. Now, are they going to play every home game in Tucson? There's going to be some at the Mullet Arena,
like
in
Tempe, 5 or 6.
Barely, though.
But most of them is going to be in Tucson.
I think Morello and company wanted 14. And now I think, they're getting like maybe a half dozen. Because, I mean, there's only 72 games in the AHL season, and Tucson gets 30 of them. So, I mean,
so
if you
30 plus 6 times 2 is 72.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is how that works.
But actually 36 would be how many home games? So they're going to get 6 in the Mullet, whatever it is.
Yeah. Which is a smaller stadium.
And, you know, look, I know you're happy about the Roadrunners staying. I am too, right? As a co-owner of the Sugar Skulls, I think we rise together. It's not zero sum.
Mm-hmm.
But this is more monumental than you guys know, because you had different components of quasi-governmental and governmental entities coming together with strong support from the business community to invest in keeping a team here. And I'm not going to say that's always happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the city of Tucson with Rio Nuevo, not just voting, we're going to keep you for 3 more years, but there's an economic incentive package. The $2 fee on tickets is now waived. So it's fan friendly. And this is giving us some runway for Alex Morello to get a expansion franchise in the NHL in the next 3 years and bring the Coyotes back to Phoenix with some sort of development plan for a new stadium. So the future is bright. And this was teetering, man. It really took a lot of effort from some really good people to make this happen. And I keep saying it, man. It's sometimes in Tucson, you can get kind of territorial, right? It's like, well, what's good for the Arizona Bowl is bad for this or that. And what's good for the Roadrunners, bad for the Sugar Skulls. I don't believe in that whatsoever. I really don't. And I really believe Tucson is a sports town, not just a basketball town. And for people to come together, it's the right people in the right places at the right time. And think about our community, Tucson, right? 10 years ago, yeah, let's say 11 years ago, we lost baseball. We lost spring training. We didn't have a AAA team. There was no Arizona Bowl. We didn't have really FC Tucson. We didn't have the Roadrunners. Think about it. If I told you guys 10 years ago, we're going to have a professional hockey team. We're going to have a professional indoor football league team. We're going to have a burgeoning soccer scene. And by the way, I don't know if you ever heard of Snoop Dogg. He's going to be the title sponsor of a bowl game here in town.
Yeah.
You guys would have laughed at me. Big things are possible in Tucson if everybody works together for the common good. And I keep saying this over and over again. When nobody cares who gets the credit, it's amazing what we can accomplish together. And we have a lot of really good people that believe in that philosophy.
What did Bill Walton say? Your life.
I got you some dirt from Temecula.
I mean, he did say that.
Yeah.
You become happy when you're not selfish anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's like you said.
I think it was happiness begins where selfishness ends.
Yes,
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Comparison is the thief of joy, right? And then your buddy got a tattoo of that, and then you got a bigger one.
Yeah, and bigger font.
And bigger font that said comparison is the
More
thief of joy.
expensive, more color.
You're right. But did you? I mean, I know we've talked a lot about Bill Walton, but I thought there was one story in particular that was just amazing to me. Did you hear about the guy that he gave him his shirt?
No,
I have heard that story actually.
So Bill Walton is at a Grateful Dead concert. And of course, he's got backstage passes and he's going to go hang out with the guys afterwards. And he's walking up, and this guy's got what he thinks is one of the greatest Grateful Dead shirts he's ever seen. And he was like, there's space lasers and there's buses. And he's like, it was incredible. And so he went up to the guy and said, man, that is the best Grateful Dead t-shirt I've ever seen. And the guy took the shirt off of him and gave it to Bill Walton. So Bill Walton put it on, went to the concert, and the concert ends and they're walking, it's kind of fenced off and everybody's kind of looking, like, oh, Jerry, Bill. And he sees the guy with no shirt on. And Bill Walton goes over, grabs the guy, says, you're coming with us, and goes to the hotel with the guys, right?
Maybe I haven't heard this story before.
That guy turns out to now be the guy in the vault for the Grateful Dead, all their music, and basically listens to all their live shows and decided what to release and put on records. So now he's the keeper of he became the keeper of the vault of all Grateful Dead songs.
Wow.
Just from giving his t-shirt to Bill Walton.
Damn.
Incredible, right?
An act of kindness. And look what it led to.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So I guess he was, obviously a big fan of the band. And now that anything that you hear that comes out from live shows from the Grateful Dead is from this guy sitting in what they call the vault and listening to every show and deciding what to release.
Wow.
That's badass, man.
That's awesome.
That's super cool. What a job.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, I was thinking, like, what would be the equivalent for me? You know what? We need you to look through all Pittsburgh Steelers footage from 1933 when we started to now, and you decide what we put out on videos, and we're going to pay you for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, oh, okay.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We'd need napkins for sure.
And by the way, as part of your job, you're going to need to consult often with Mike Tomlin, and you guys are going to become close. Yeah. So you need to have a really good working relationship with them. I'm like, I think I'd pass out.
Yeah. You'll be running into John Norwig in a lot of elevators.
John Norwig is now retired.
Yeah.
So I know who the trainer is for 30 years for the Steelers, and he was very surprised by that when I mentioned. He's like,
you're John Norwig.
I was like, yeah, I was the Steelers trainer for 30 years. I'm like, oh, you're John Norwig. It's like, how do you know my name?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know how many Steelers Digests I read? Like I had the media guide every year for the Steelers, and I would go through every page and read every word. I know who you are, motherfucker. John Norwig.
He's like, someone's like, oh yeah, I used to, mop the floors at Heinz Field. I worked there for like 3 months. Dennis Iverson?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
No, it's Paul Stevens.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Get it right, Andrew.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Bill Walton, and Bill, as we all know, passed away over the weekend at 71 years old. And of course, it's very poetic that Mr. Conference of Champions himself will not live to see the post Pac-12 era. Bill Walton died with the Pac-12. And if you want to get really technical, he actually outlived the Pac-12 by a day. To me, that's very poetic. And, Bill Walton, we talked about it with Ryan Finley, sports editor of the Union Tribune, and it goes along with the story that you brought up. Bill Walton is a basketball Hall of Famer. I mean, we're talking about arguably the greatest college basketball player of all time. The only reason why I won't give him that nod over Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, is because Lou had a rule change for him. They told Kareem, they're like, hey, you're dunking too much. Stop doing that. And they said, you can't dunk anymore. And that's when he created the skyhook and still dominated, right?
Well, there's another rule, I believe, for Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It was in place. I don't know if it was in place for Bill Walton. You couldn't play as a freshman.
Wow. Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah. You could not play as a freshman. You didn't play varsity as a freshman. They had like JV games, but for all the freshmen in college basketball.
Greatest practice player of all time.
So Lou Alcindor, all his records, 3 years, not 4.
Wow. That's nutty.
Think about that. Shit. Think about that. And so that's why I put Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, as the top college basketball player of all time. But Bill Walton, 3-time National Player of the Year, 2-time champion, was a part of UCLA's 88-game winning streak under John Wooden. The legacy of Bill Walton at UCLA, man, it's you'd be hard-pressed to find another person outside of Kareem, of course. Maybe Christian Laettner at Duke.
No. Not maybe. No.
What?
Bill Walton, Lou Alcindor, Christian Laettner is not even in the conversation.
I mean, 4 Final Fours, 2 national championships.
Yeah, I mean, Grant Hill, Thomas Hill. We had a good team around him, right? I mean, not that those guys didn't, but as far as greatest college basketball players, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pass on Christian Laettner. No disrespect.
All disrespect.
Yeah, but yesterday anyway, talking about Bill Walton. I'm sorry. Finish.
No, I was gonna say is we talk about how great of a basketball player he was, and even when he got to the NBA, despite struggling in the early stages, dealing with foot injuries and all that with the Portland Trailblazers, still broke through, won an NBA championship, will always go down as a legend in Portland, and then in the mid '80s joined the Boston Celtics. Wasn't the starter, but was a great bench player and a great voice in that locker room, winning a title in Boston. Bill Walton has a basketball career that a lot of people would kill for. And we spoke about it with Ryan Finley from the San Diego Union Tribune. This guy could have easily took his millions, took all the money that he made, and just hit out for the rest of his life. But he bought a house in Balboa Park in San Diego and would ride his bike and would go down to the beach. And whenever he went to the Grateful Dead concerts, was he backstage? No. He was in the middle, towering over everybody with his hands up and the biggest smile, just super happy to be there. Bill Walton was a man of the people. And, people talk about it all the time. Heck, Scott Lehman in Tucson, Arizona has commercials talk about, I'm a dealer for the people. But Bill Walton, like when you talk about the people's champ, like a guy for the people, it was Bill Walton. And he made you feel good about yourself too, even if he didn't know who you were. Bill always gave me his time, would never remember my name, but would always ask for my name. And then whenever I would tell it to him, he would respond, nice to meet you. I'm Bill. I'm like, yeah, I know you are, Bill. I appreciate it. For the 5th time, you've already introduced yourself, but that goes to show the humble, just great character that Bill Walton was.
Yeah, I mean, I really believe he was one of the greatest ambassadors of humanity. And look at all those cities, including Tucson, Arizona, that have adopted him as their own, and that it helped with Luke being an Arizona Wildcat. And when you live with joy and gratitude every single day, man, he passed away too early at 71, but man, he lived every day the way it was supposed to be lived, at least from an outside observer. It's the joy and gratitude. Instead of looking for people to give them gratefulness, he was never inaccessible. He was never too big for anybody. The couple of times I met him and talked to him, you know, I just went up and said, you know, hello and took pictures, and he was always cool. It was never a big deal. I mean, and think about how many people do that everywhere he goes. I don't think I bet you the man never said no. Maybe if he was in the middle of a meal or something.
I've seen him say no a few times, but
or working.
It was because he was working.
Yeah.
And,
So
you know, Bruce Pascoe said it on our show earlier this week is, yes, people look at the quirkiness and how wild he can be when he's on a game broadcast. But before every single broadcast, Bill is going through notes. He's studying. He's in the moment. And sometimes kids sometimes will go up to him and say, hey, Mr. Walt, can I get a picture? And he would always say, after the game, find me. I can't do it right now, but please, after the game, let me know.
That's not a no. That's totally understandable.
Yeah.
So, and I think it was kind of appropriate that we talked about a guy like Bill Walton, who had I think that's what's underrated about him is the immense amount of intelligence and thoughtfulness that imbued his personality. He was a really smart guy. And then we kind of had a 30-minute therapy session with Justin yesterday. That was Bill Walton-esque. We're not going to get into the details, but it was helpful for you, right?
It was
very releasing. So I think Bill would have been proud of us, basically kind of working through some issues together yesterday in an intelligent, thoughtful way. And Justin, who I'm never afraid to say, Justin, man, you got to think about this in a different perspective, or dude, you're being a little stubborn, or I'm never dishonest with you.
Never.
It ended with, Justin, you're 1,000% right. And I don't think I've seen Justin that satisfied ever. Maybe in intimate relationships with other people, and I don't want to see that, but I don't think I've ever seen Justin be like, the air be let out. I'm just like, thank you. I am vindicated.
Yeah.
Damn Officer Franklin.
And by the way,
El Cajon.
no, that's not what we're talking about. But you were breaking the law. You just caught you instead of somebody else.
I wasn't breaking the law.
How much were you going over the speed limit?
20.
Okay.
God damn.
But okay.
But other people were too.
In fairness to me, I was running on like 4 hours of sleep, if that. Foot got a little heavy. I was focused on getting to San Diego. And I was in a group of cars. There's about, 8 to a dozen of us. And I was the last one. And it wasn't like I was hauling ass and I caught up to the group and I'm just kind of stuck behind them. Like, no, we were all going the same speed. And right outside San Diego in El Cajon, all of a sudden, I see a California Highway Patrol parked in the bushes. Last second, I passed by him. I didn't think he was going to drive out because I'm like, there's all of us. What he's going to do, pull us all over?
Nope, just you.
And he then he got out.
And Officer Franklin, what is he supposed to do? Like, go chase all those other? They all got to the right real quick. He's like, hey, I'm going to get one of these people. You lost ticket roulette, buddy.
Yeah.
20 over? Well, so you're going like what, 85?
90.
90.
90 and a 70.
So as much of as 1,000% right you were on the topic we talked about yesterday, you're 990% wrong on this one. It sucks.
It does.
Short straw.
It does.
But you 20, I mean, if it was like 5 or 10, I'm like, yeah, dude, that sucks. That's bullshit. You're going 20 over. You're going 90 in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually thought about, I'm like, should I fight this and get like Ali to represent me?
He wouldn't do it.
Can't afford me.
You show up like my cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
Help me get out of a ticket.
It would be funny. It's like,
great content.
he's an idiot. And let me tell you about the story we told on our show. And just for the comedy of it all, could you lower it? Just take the class. Can you take the class? Or is that criminal speeding?
I don't know. Because he actually put like the actual speed on there.
He didn't even help you out.
Yeah, usually, they're like, hey, I'm going to throw you a bone, 12 over. How about that? I'm like, okay, cool. No, he got me.
I think you got I don't think you can take the class.
No, I can. I think if it's over 100, they've changed it.
Oh, that is?
Yeah, we looked up the
good.
The requirements. And on the
over 100, is that felony speeding at that point?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, but I thought it was like, if it's because that sometimes the tickets, maybe California is different, But I still think in Arizona, it's like if you're between 5 and 10, it's a misdemeanor. If it's 10 and 15, it could be either. And if it's like over a certain amount, it's a felony.
Misdemeanor? I hardly know her.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave me a misdemeanor
In California.
which
Okay.
is crazy to say. Yeah, I only got a misdemeanor.
Now you're really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Now
a
you got
misdemeanor in
s-
California, in
yeah,
El Cajon,
in
of all
SoCal,
places.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, think of it
Don't
from the
mess
positive
about-
light. Yeah, you got
some street cred.
street cred now. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got a misdemeanor in California.
I need you guys with the free Justin shirts.
Jerry Spears, your dad would be laughing his ass
Yeah,
off.
he would.
He would be laughing his ass
Growing
off.
up from
man.
in Carson, California, has actually seen criminals.
Went to didn't he go to Crenshaw?
No, he went to
No,
Carson High,
Carson High, okay.
but
So you sure it wasn't the
he was
Officer
a
Franklin?
minority at his high school.
Officer
Let's just say
Franklin
that.
wasn't recently working with the Louisville Police Department.
I know, right?
I think that's one of the greatest posts I've ever done on X. Put a picture of that guy that messed with Scheffler
Scotty Scheffler.
and lied about what happened, and was doing donuts with civilians. Has been reprimanded for doing donuts with civilians in his police car. So this guy's got some issues. Those are the guys that should not be, given a license to have a gun.
Yeah.
Right.
If only there was some kind of background
I know.
checks.
It's like, well, strike 7,
Yeah.
one more.
Yeah. One
that's-
more and it'll be 8.
But I was like, leave our sports heroes alone. First Scotty Scheffler, now Justin Spears. Man,
So he was doing donuts with some people.
yeah. Oh, he had a
Well, he sounds like a fun cop. Just don't arrest Scotty Scheffler for that stuff.
he had a litany, and then it wasn't him, but there was a cop picked up where was it? Picked up a prostitute, and she's like, basically telling him, I'm DTF right now,
when he got stuck in the car.
down 2, and he's like, no, you can't say that. Camera's on. No, you shouldn't be saying those things. And then all of a sudden, the body camera goes off, the car camera goes off, and then he had to call another officer because he locked himself with the woman in the back seat to let him out. He's no longer
No.
in law enforcement.
They actually found traces of semen on his belt.
Yes. Oh, he said, no, nothing happened. I was just wanting to make sure she was okay. I'm like, so was she okay?
And do you know where that happened?
No, I don't remember that.
San Diego, California.
That's- yeah.
Damn straight. Where dreams come true.
Yeah.
Legacies are made.
Legacies are made.
I mean,
in
that
San Diego.
song from South Park, it's always appropriate.
Yep.
You can apply it to so many things. Jacking it in San Diego.
You don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
and you're watching this on YouTube. Hit that search bar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a speeding ticket. I got to deal with that. Unfortunately, I can't afford Ollie Farhang to represent me. So
It's a
I'm-
lose.
I'm
You just
gonna-
waste throwing good money after bad, dude. There's nothing.
yeah,
You just take the class.
gonna take the class, get the point off my record.
Ellie would roll in and be like, Your Honor, he did it.
He did it. I've got nothing. All right, Jay. Since we're already in San Diego,
Yeah.
let's go hit up the beach.
Yeah.
We can hang out a couple days. We'll stay at your mom's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stay the
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, this is great. I got a retainer. I got money in my pocket and free lodging. Cool. Done.
All right. So what else do we got to discuss before?
We just got to talk about one thing, and I just want to get this one off my chest. Well, actually, I'm opening the door for you guys to judge me. All right. So you guys know, like, I'm on this health kick. Yeah. Warm up those hands. I already know the answer to this.
Okay.
So I'm eating very low carbohydrate diet right now.
And you look
A lot of
fantastic.
thank you. I feel good. A lot of salad, a lot of proteins. And, one protein that's really good when you're hungry that you can eat is a hard-boiled egg.
Mhm.
And I like hard-boiled eggs.
Yes.
I like eggs.
Same.
But I hate peeling hard-boiled eggs.
Mhm.
It is like I always have that one piece that's still there, and I chew on it, and
Oh.
it makes the egg not
Like
good.
picking it out of your teeth.
Yeah, and I'm the guy that's trying to YouTube great ways to peel a hard-boiled egg, and I'm not good. And the bowl of ice water, it's just so much to do just for one little egg. So I go to the grocery store the other night, and I'm like, it's definitely more expensive, but I can buy hard-boiled eggs that are already peeled, organic, cage-free. And I'm like, this is maybe one of the more bourgeoisie things I've done, but
No, bougie. Bourgeoisie is like middle class, right?
No, it's the same.
It's the
It's the
same.
same. Okay.
But I'm okay with it. I don't think I'm ever going to buy eggs in a crate again. I'm just going to buy them already peeled. And
Is that all you do with eggs is hard boil them?
pretty much, I mean, I can make a over easy egg, but I mean, now I've got like a house that's got like a functioning kitchen. I had a convection oven before, and I had to have like a special pan to put the pots on. Am I going to cook more? No. But should I be, we'll see. If I can make a few eggs, we'll see. But yeah, I basically eat hard boiled eggs unless I go out and have an omelet or over medium. But I'm like, is this like, I mean, I know I drive a bougie car too, but I mean,
No judgment here.
but is this like too far? Like
No.
that I have to buy my eggs that are already peeled? Is it?
I mean, I definitely think if you say you have to buy your eggs pre-peeled, it errs on the side of bougie. But if you say you get them on pre-peeled because that's what you prefer, I feel like that's less bougie.
Yeah, because you're talking to a
Just
guy
by
who buys
syntax.
pistachios pre-deshelled or
You're
whatever.
a monster. That's like the best part.
No, man. You just at Costco, they have those bags. You open them up, just get a handful.
Here's the problem with that. And I'm from my family's from a region where pistachios are important, and they soak them in lemon juice and stuff and different things. And so that you kind of suck on the seed, and then you eat too many when you buy them like that. When you actually have to open them up and eat it, you don't. And pistachios got a lot of calories. So if you can just mindlessly eat pre-peeled pistachios, the only issue with that is you eat too many. Is what I've noticed. When I have to actually go through this, then I don't feel like I eat as many pistachios. So that's just
okay.
But
you can make little boats out of the shells and race them.
So if I ever buy a carton of eggs, yeah, exactly. Yeah. The little river walk.
How can I forget?
Santa Cruz River, racing the shells.
Yeah.
But
you guys never 7?
If I ever buy eggs, it'll be to make the eggs. But as far as I don't see myself in the foreseeable future or the rest of my life ever boiling an egg again, because I'm just going to buy them already done.
Huh. See, the ice bowl trick works for me.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't want to get the bowl out, put the ice in, and then the water, and then I got to clean the bowl. I want to do that. I know.
And what I've done in the past is take the hard boiled eggs and you put it in a jar of like pickle juice or like the pepperoncini jars. You can put the eggs in there, have it soak for a day, and then or beets, yeah, and have like a flavored hard boiled egg. It's so good. So
well,
you like pickles or peppers?
I do. I just the effort is not worth it to me.
Yeah. Sometimes I soft boil an egg and put it in my ramen. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. That's a good idea. I wonder if I can buy soft boiled eggs already peeled.
That's bougie.
Yeah.
That's definitely up there.
All right. I knew the answer to that. And I'm good with it. I'm happy to live with that moniker. So this is a public service announcement to all of you out there. All right. And it's definitely on the top 5, maybe top 10 list of my biggest gripes.
Ooh, I know where this is going.
Yes. And look, I'm really doing you all a favor.
Yes.
Okay. There's an etiquette to email, especially when it goes to reply and reply all. Let me give you an example. If I email the two of you guys, hey, I've got a guest for the 8:00 hour on Wednesday. What do you guys think? And then one of you replies all, that's a great idea. Give us the number, and then we'll make sure that we schedule him.
Yeah.
That's an appropriate reply all, because we're adding substance to the conversation that's educating us even further on the topic at hand. Now, if I send an email to the two of you and I say, Ryan Finley is going to be on the show at 8:00, here's the number, and I get a reply all, great, good job. Hey, you know what? I remember I had a story with Ryan Finley one time. It's really funny. I'll tell you at the studio. That is a fucking not the way you reply all, okay? So people, if you don't have anything to add, do not use reply all. Just use reply, because you're just talking to the sender. And the rest of us don't want to see the fucking good job email to the person that sent the email. Do we understand ourselves? Now, sender, let me give you another tip that will make life better on this universe. Okay. Blind copy if you've got a group of people on an email, because you know what happens? If you say, hey, in the studio, we're going to have Saguaro Music Theater Company come in. Again, take a step back. If all the names are on the CC list, I don't want to hear your exuberance or your fucking opinion about how you feel about that. Okay? I don't want to hear it. Send that to the guy that sent it. But if the sender would have blind copy everybody, whether you reply or reply all, it only goes to the sender. So be a courteous email sender. And when you have a large group of people, blind copy everybody, because no one gives a fuck how you feel. And you know what? If we have a meeting on a certain day, I don't give a shit if you can't make it. Don't tell me. Tell the person who sent it.
Mm-hmm. The organizer.
I have a doctor's appointment. I can't make it. I don't. What does that fucking mean anything to me? I'm not organizing the meeting. Reply and reply all. Sender. BCC versus CC. It's so simple.
I didn't know that about blind copying, actually.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's every organization I'm a part of, I've had to educate people. Please BCC everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Because, especially as I do a lot of employment law. If you send something out and someone says, oh, thanks, John. I guess your ego knows no bounds, you motherfucker. That goes to everybody. And then we start a thing, and then employment issues are going to arise. So there's actually a practical legal reason to BCC everybody. You don't start shit.
Yeah. Your Honor, I invoke the right of BCC.
And guys, I'm going to tell you, yes, yeah, it should be a state law.
The writ of blind copy.
Yeah, right after habeas corpus. Yeah. No reply corpus.
Yeah,
no reply all corpus. I don't want to see that. I can't tell you guys. Just in the last month, so I'm dealing with this station, how many emails I have written in a reply all that had just said reply all. I'm like, if I get it, I'm like, oh, okay. So we're going to have 6 reply alls with
great. Sounds like a plan.
I can't make it. Doctor's appointment. Can you send us, whatever stupid shit about your personal feelings or what you're doing, which I don't care. Okay. And I'm like,
respectfully,
I can't fucking take it anymore.
Respectfully, I don't give a shit.
Reply all. Click. Just with reply all. Do you think they'd get the message?
No.
Probably not.
No.
They'd be really confused.
Well, as you can see, this is a sore subject for me. I actually looked it up one time. There's a great definition and etiquette to reply and reply all.
Mm-hmm.
It should be with civics, financial literacy, history, math. It should be a class in high school. Just be one class. It shouldn't take too long.
Yeah.
Here's when you press reply, and here's when you press reply all. Make the world a better place.
We just have to have an initiative for teachers to teach that. Because I had teachers in high school who taught me useful shit like that on top of all the, equations that I've never once used since graduating high school.
Well, good teachers.
So, yeah, exactly. And I think, yeah.
Y equals MX plus B.
Sure. I don't know what that does, but I guess it's true. Every time I think Y, I think MX plus B. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the fuck that's for. Is that a parabola?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't fucking know.
Haven't used it since.
Yeah. I don't even know what that is.
I think
I just know the Pythagorean theorem is 3.14, and then there's other numbers.
That's pi.
That's pi.
See?
Yeah.
Dumb.
See, but
you know what? I'll just maybe reply all. 3.14.
Great.
Yeah.
Did you guys know the Pythagorean theorem is 3.115?
Yeah.
9265.
I know. I'm telling you, sometimes it gets to a breaking point.
So email etiquette, that's one of your biggest pet peeves. What's the biggest pet peeve that you have?
Inconsiderate people.
Being inconsiderate.
Being inconsiderate. That and like entitlement. Just be a good person. I just, what the Bill Walton thing. Don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat. And then no whining, no complaining, and
No excuses.
No excuses.
No excuses.
Yeah.
John Wooden. I mean, it's so simple. Yeah, whining, parents that don't. I mean, I'm sorry, I got a list. Yeah.
Parents
that
kids
like
suck.
Well, look, parents out there. Public service announcement number 2.
This is your Ali
Yeah.
PSA.
Your job is to parent your kid. Your job is not to be your kid's best friend. Now, at some point, as they mature and evolve, the relationship changes and you become more of a consigliere or confidant of your kid if you have a good relationship. And it's more of a friendship, but they're making the decisions on their own because you have instilled in them the foundation to make good decisions, hopefully. And hopefully they're going on the right path. And hopefully they have a relationship with you where they ask for your advice when they need it. But when you treat your little kids like best friends, you're not doing them any favor because they're going to suck in life. And let me give you a really good indication of the parent that does that. Mom, I don't want this sandwich. If you change your voice talking to your kids, oh, Billy, well, what kind of sandwich? Would you like a different sandwich? Would you like me to make you a empanada? Would you like peanut butter and jelly? If you change your voice and do that, you're fucking up your kid. Okay? Because they're going to grow up and they're going to be a dick. Yeah. And they're going to think like, I can't believe I'm like working 40 hours a week and, I'm paying for this car and my apartment and I can barely go. Like I can only get my nails done like once a week now. It's like, it's so hard to make a living. That's going to be your kid, right? They're not going to be all about our hard work. They're not going to have Mamba mentality. They're never going to exceed any kind of, excel in any way beyond their expectations. They're going to build plateaus for themselves and they're going to suck. Mm-hmm. And they're probably going to live with you the rest of your life. And that's what you want. Then continue to be a shitty parent and be like, oh, it's okay, Billy. Like, don't tell me your 9-year. Is he going to play football this year? He had a great season last. Well, I asked him. I don't know if he wants to play. You know what? He didn't fucking get to make a decision, right? You know what I want to do all day? I would love to play video games and eat Cheetos, right? But I got to work. You guys got to work. We got to make a living. We have responsibilities. We have people relying on us. We want to do good in the world. We have ambitions. We have goals. I'm 53. I get to make that decision.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm 40.
You're 8.
Kid.
You're 8, 9-year-old. They don't get to make that decision. You are going to do this sport. You are going to get involved in this. Parent them. Don't be their best friend.
Okay. What about football though?
What about it?
I mean, okay. So
what about it?
In terms of like, you're doing this activity.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force my 9-year-old son to play football.
Why?
And because football was great to me.
Right.
I love football. I love the camaraderie, the brotherhood, all the people who come from different walks of life. Like when I first started playing football, I played for the Tucson Eagles, which is inner city. They practice at like Stella and Kolb or something like that.
Santa Rita, baby.
Yeah.
The games of Santa Rita.
Yeah. So like the kids that were on my teams, like again, all different walks of life. Like as a little kid, I enjoyed that experience and that meant so much to me. And it teaches you how to work with people and how to, you have one goal, but there's so many different parts to it. How do we combine those parts and get to that one goal? But, with football and how it is as a young player, and I know the drills are probably a little bit different now, but I look back at me as an 8-year-old doing Oklahoma drills. Man, that was brutal on me. That was really hard. And, football is just a hard sport. So like if my 9-year-old is like, Dad, I don't really feel like playing football, then that's when I'll be like, okay, you know what? Then what do you want to do?
But Justin, you made my point. All the things that football instilled in you, how to work hard. It is hard. You know what? Football players, to play football is hard. You know why most of the Fortune 500 companies are run by former football players? Because they know how to fucking to face hard. And then you have kids from different socioeconomic backgrounds, from different religions, from different races, from different families. They all come together for a common thing. All the great things that instilled in you, the camaraderie. You know what?
Oh, I'm not denying that.
Your 9-year-old doesn't want to play football for the most part because it's hard. So you're not going to make him do it. What else in life?
It's hard on a little brain, man.
Dude,
What about just any sport though?
but there's something. I'm just a big advocate for football.
Oh,
They
me
should play
too.
lots of sports.
Me too.
But the thing to me is football is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you need to put your kids in situations that are hard because then they know how to deal with hard. If you're saying everything that's hard, I'm not going to make you do, then you're basically setting your kids up to every time something is hard, I'm not going to do it. And as a 9-year-old, dude, I love football. I mean, I was like, oh, summer practice. Mom, Dad, I don't know if I want to play. They're like, get your ass out there. My parents were like afraid of like the contact and stuff. I had to beg them to play football. I played a couple of years and then 1 year was hard. And my parents said, okay, you don't have to play. And I was, I think they should have made me play. They should play other sports too. Really important. But of course, Joseph or Jack Spears.
I thought we knew the first name of your firstborn, Justin, because of a tweet.
Oh, Tajay.
Yeah, there you go, Tajay.
Tajay
So little
Spears.
Tajay Spears, man, he's 9. He's going to probably have video games that are like way better than what we have. He's going to have access to all these things technology wise. You want me to go out in 100-degree weather and go run gassers? That's hard. I don't want to do that. And it's like, you know what? Tough shit. You're going to do that. And when you get to make the decision? High school. But you're going to play lots of different sports. You're going to do things that are hard. Once you're in, you're going to stay with the team. You're going to make a commitment. They're going to whine and bitch. Be a parent. Be a parent. Don't be a friend. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, teach your kid about commitment. I know football is a little bit weird for me as a former football player, just because I think about everything that I went through as a little kid. It was hard.
It was hard.
It was really hard. But like the contact for a little person.
But dude,
so I know technology has improved.
I know this one, E = MC squared. The time to play football is when they're that small. They don't run fast enough and they're not big enough.
Does E = MC squared have to do with that?
Energy equals what? Speed times velocity, mass times velocity squared, right?
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
I didn't know that was what E = MC squared.
I don't think that is.
Well,
it is in this case.
In this case.
I don't think that's what that is at all.
Never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Exactly. I'll reply all the right formula to you later. But the time to learn the joy of the game, and when they're not running fast enough and they're not big enough, like high school is like when you're like really seeing the contact.
Yeah.
What about like middle school though? Like 13.
Yeah.
I played flag
12,
football then.
I mean, I get that, right?
You know what I mean? Like
12, 13, if they don't want to play, they've played 4 years. Okay.
Yeah,
I get that.
Don't let them go into high school being green, but also at 8 years old. I don't know.
Okay. Just bringing this back full circle. We got into a big thing about football. I'm just going to be an advocate of football.
Oh, me.
But all sports. If you change your voice with your kid when you talk to him, and you have, I don't even, what would you call it? Like, it's not a falsetto, but it's this voice. Andrew is okay. You don't want to. It's okay. You don't want to do it. We'll find something else to do. I know we went to Chuck E. Cheese. You don't like Chuck E. Cheese. We'll go to Peter Piper Pizza just for you. We'll leave right now and I'll pay. You change your voice to that. That's a sign that you're not doing things the right way. Just talk to your kids like human beings, right?
Yeah.
Don't be so soft.
Yeah. I didn't play contact football. Like I played flag football, but I also played basketball, baseball, which also softball. Golf. Yeah, golf was weird because, like, everybody sucks at golf especially at first. And golf was like, it's you against yourself, right? So every time I was like, oh, that shot sucked. I was like, oh, what can I do to like change it? It like, just that in your mind. Because I didn't play contact football. I just didn't.
Yeah.
But I still think I got the most of the lessons, I would say, out of other sports. So would it be like fair to just say sports in general?
Well, or something, right? All I'm getting at is, as a parent, as a family, you make the decisions of hopefully exposing your child to a lot of different things. And, It's like the other end of this is if like living vicariously through your kid and, you wanting to be a professional baseball player. So making them play baseball year round, because, if you do that, then you can make Shohei Ohtani money and set me up like Justin's plan with Tajay. But
Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, get him Tommy John surgery at 11.
I'm like, I don't want my kid playing football, but I want him getting Tommy John surgery when he's 8.
Yeah.
You're a riddle.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, Ollie.
But so I don't want to make it a football thing, but I mean, whatever you decide as far as what they're going to be engaged in and be part of, like make something, but it's your choice. It's not theirs is my thing. Is like when you have kids, whatever it is you feel is the right thing to do that. But they don't get a say, is all I'm saying. They don't get a say.
All right.
They're 8. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what? Human beings, if you give them the chance to be comfortable and do nothing versus doing anything that takes any effort, most of them, a good portion of them, will choose the comfort, the Cheetos, and doing nothing. And the soft voices will continue forever. Like, talk to them like a human being. It's just so stupid. Sorry. You don't like that piece of bread? Well, you're not going to fucking eat. I'm not going to go get a French loaf for you, you entitled little shit. Fucking Wonder Bread. That's the bread I got. I worked my ass off. I bought that bread. You're either going to eat the bread and the sandwich or you're not going to eat. It's up to you. No, you can't have Subway. And I'm not going to Chick-fil-A. No.
You want different bread? Well, get your bread up.
Yeah.
And you can pay for your own bread.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, I guess, I could use some bread. Why don't you pay the rent, motherfucker?
I think my biggest pet peeve is people not saying thank you.
Inconsiderate.
Yeah. That was one thing that my parents always said, like whenever we would go out for family dinner, like even just going out to Chili's, and we went to Chili's a lot. And yes, I did judge my father whenever he ordered the fajitas, because he would order them, and I'd be like, in my head as a little kid, I'm like, your ass just wants attention. You don't want them fajitas. You just want fucking people. You just want the big plate of sizzling fajitas coming out. People are like, man, that guy's winning. Even as a little kid, I was a hater. I was like, such a hater.
So bizarre that you would think that everybody in the restaurant is like, their heads turns like, oh, that guy got the fajitas. Holy shit, who's that guy?
Is it true? The fajitas come out and everyone's like,
no, that's not true.
Wow. I should have got the fajitas.
No. No, literally nobody's thinking that. It's like,
well, I was a hater. So whenever my dad ordered the fajitas, I'm like, man, you just want attention. Anyways, but after, a simple family dinner, when we would go out, thank you, Dad, for dinner.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. Thank you for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything always had a thank you, because people are doing something for you. And, holding the door open for somebody, just a lot of thank yous to go out in this world. And man, it just irritates me whenever I hold open the door for somebody and they don't say thank you.
I guarantee you, because you guys got good manners for the most part. Somebody walks in a room, you say hello.
Hi. Yes.
Right. Like, like if like that was another, the thing with my kids was like, you look people in the eye, you talk to them. Right. But
firm handshake.
But your grandfather, grandmother walks in the room. You don't sit there and wait to be addressed. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if anybody told you this, but you're not the fucking Prince of Wales.
Yeah.
Right. There's no etiquette, and there's no royalty here where they can't look you in the eyes. Get your fucking ass up and say hello to your grandfather. Yeah. Say hello to your grandmother. When I walk in the room, say hello. Hey, Dad. Because you know what? That's a sign of respect.
Yeah. And one thing that I've actually learned from my colleagues is standing up to talk to somebody. I've actually noticed this working with Bruce Pascoe and Greg Hansen. Like whenever somebody would come up to them at like the NCAA tournament or any event, and somebody would come up and address them, they didn't just stay seated and just look up and talk to them. Bruce and Greg, like they would always stand up and talk to these people. And I observed that, because so many times, like somebody would come by and say hello to me, and I still like sit there and I just turn and I talk to them. But I don't know, standing up and getting at their level, I don't know, it's more personal and more respectful, I guess. At least that's what I took away from it, just from observing the people that I work with.
Well, if it is something that is subject to a handshake, you should never shake anybody's hand sitting down.
Yeah.
Right. If somebody's handing you the stats, hey, Justin, great show. I listened to you guys the other day. Here's the stats. I mean, getting up.
Thank you. Yeah,
but
sure.
But if it's like, I come by, hey, Justin, good to see you, man. How you doing?
Yeah.
Fucking get up and shake my hand. If you're going to shake my hand, you need to stand up.
Or like, yeah, hey, this is so-and-so, you know, the first meeting or thing kind of thing.
Mhm.
Also, my family does, like when we're like leaving the dinner table or something like that, or like if we're out to like a restaurant or something and someone's like, oh, I gotta go, you know, everybody like gets up, gives them a hug, whatever, and then we all sit back down at the table. I don't know if that's like something for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, get up.
Yeah.
And
it's
you know
not
what?
like, peace, you know.
We'll finish this up, but I mean, the other thing I've just been noticing lately is how many people say sorry so much.
Yeah.
Or it's so sad. It's like, well, hey, how was the U of A game? Oh, the U of A game was great. You know what's so sad is that, you know, we didn't get there till the second inning. I'm like, is that sad? Or just late? Right. But like even the grocery store, like, you know, you'll be taking your cart and you'll be the one, like somebody's coming. You're like, oh, excuse me. Sorry. What are you fucking sorry about? We just were going in the same direction. There's just, I'm letting you through. There's nothing to be sorry about.
Mhm.
You didn't hit me. You weren't inconsiderate.
I'm
Why
guilty.
do people say sorry so much?
I'm guilty.
Stop that.
Or my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If like yesterday's show, when I said I was going to slap you if you did the Bill Walton thing again, if I actually slapped you and then later I would say sorry, that is a good sorry. I didn't slap him, but he got a video of himself. He saw how annoying it was. We were on the same page. But like if I go, yeah, Andrew, you know, the game was so huge. Sorry, Justin. Excuse me. That's a sorry.
Mhm.
Inadvertent. But if I'm just like, oh, we walked out the same time at the door, like, or he was talking and then I started talking, but he wasn't done. Excuse me, Justin. That's not a sorry. That's just, pardon me.
What if you're an asshole to both Andrew and myself and you send an email that includes both of us? Do I hit reply or reply all?
What is the point of the email?
Sorry for being an asshole.
If you were an asshole to me?
No, if you were an asshole to Andrew and I.
And I sent you an email?
Yeah, you sent us an email.
Well, I think that would be a dick move. Why wouldn't I just tell you to your face?
That's true. All right, let's say it's like it involves a lot of people at the station.
I was an asshole to everybody?
Yeah, you were just a jerk.
You had a day.
On the way out, you were just like, man, fucking Justin and Andrew, fucking Mix FM, fucking Beat Vegan, and you, Larry, tired of looking at your fucking face. Ah! And you just leave.
I mean, at that point, fuck all of you. I'm done.
And you send an email like, I lost my cool. I'm going through it right now.
Nah. I mean, if whoever I said to go, you know, copulate with themselves, I think I would have to go talk to them
to their
personally.
face. Yeah. Good.
I don't know.
Man.
Reply all is not, you know. I'm
Reply all
sorry.
doesn't work in sorries.
Sorry and reply all don't work. So if you get a message about like there's somebody coming into the studio and they're going and doing the car wash, which means going through all the different stations, 7 days later, sorry I missed this is not a good reply all.
Yeah. All right. With that being said,
so it comes full circle.
Yeah. Just go to the fucking doctor. I don't care. I hope you're okay, man.
Hopefully you guys learned a couple things today when it comes to being considerate.
And to what pisses the two of you off.
I don't know about the two of us.
Yeah.
I think I kind of overtook, like I kind of went through my list of various gripes.
Yeah.
All right. Enough grinding gears. Let's get out of here. Spears and Ollie Overtime on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Please subscribe, rate, and comment. We'll see you next week.
Sorry.